Today I have a breakthrough for you were looking for. So far we learned and understood that happiness comes first and then success. So we cannot wait for success to be happy, otherwise we will never be truly happy. So to tell you a truth you might don't want to hear is it will never be perfect. You do not find the perfect job. I thought I could be one of these persons. I moved to another country and half year in this dream come true job, I realized lots of things are good, some are great, but it's not a dream come true. There are also things that might be not great. And then I had a call with my personal mentor, one of my mentors, and in our conversation he said the words, they stuck with me for a while. He said, I'm wondering if we ever find the perfect job, or if we have to find our mindset to be happy with an imperfect job and make the best out of it. And that's what we will unwrap today. There are different layers to reach it. So let's dive in. We all have been there. Tons of emails are coming in. Maybe our colleague is sick, deadlines coming closer. Maybe you got passed by a promotion. You're not feeling extremely exhausted and overworked and out of control, but you also find yourself extremely unhappy. Because there's a link between these two. Studies show that if you don't have any autonomy at work, any control, it does not only lead to a dissatisfaction at work, but also impacts your overall life, your well-being and your private life. So it leads to an unhappy life. So how do we get back this control? Because you might be thinking, yeah, but I'm not self-employed. I'm somehow dependent on my boss and the work environment. That's true, but there are certain steps we can take to get back this control. Have you ever heard of Zorro? That's a legend. He was famous for fighting for the good. But he was not always like this. In one point of his life, he tried to fight for the good, but he failed. He couldn't. And he was seeing a mentor, and he drew a circle, a little circle around him, and said, you only fight in this circle. And if you manage to do every movement and every fight posture perfectly, then he drew another circle, which was more the size of the room. And then for weeks, he only trained in this circle. And if he could control, then his mentor drew another circle. And then a circle which included the little village they were living in. And then further and further. And so he learned to fight and then fight for the good, because he had control, and then he expanded his area of control. And he didn't feel overwhelmed, because one step by another he expanded the circle. So let's do this also in our work life. Let's start with it. We want to have the perfect environment because we want to avoid pain. That's normal. We want to avoid criticism, setbacks, and so on. Because it hurts. But it's only the meaning we give this situation. It's only a situation. So we have to detach from this emotional reaction. Did you ever hear of positive intelligence? That's the ratio from positive to negative thoughts. And studies, because I'm talking about studies here, I'm not making this up. It's proven stuff. So says if your positive intelligence ratio is quite high, so if you have overall positive thoughts, you are better at work, and in the end you are happier. And they found out, for example, if you have a friend in the office, you are working 7 times better because you have this feeling of connection and kind of happiness, which brings you more success. Or they also tested this with medicines at a hospital. They handed them a lollipop before, and then they were 90% better in the operations and the surgery, actually. So if you reach and approach your work with a positive mindset, in the end you're not only happier but also more successful. And so next time you think you have a challenge or a criticism or a throwback, just be open for it and say, good, thank you. Something happens you don't like, catch your breath and say, good, thank you, because it's another opportunity to grow. Because in the beginning, little things might seem like a challenge. Then we manage, and then our circle, thinking back to sorrow, is growing. And another thing now feels like a challenge, an area to grow, and our circle goes bigger and bigger. And if your challenges are quite big or feel quite big, then great, you came quite a long way, you grow already a lot. So be appreciative of these opportunities to grow. Everything is only a vehicle to grow if something of criticism or challenges come up at work. So watch yourself for 1 week, like saying to yourself the words, good, thank you, I go on, I learned something, thank you for this opportunity to grow. And that will change your mindset and your positive thinking, and also your positive intelligence ratio from your positive thoughts. In the end, your happiness level, and in the very end, your success at work. What do you want more? The following strategy is inspired by Sean Archer. First, self-awareness. Brainstorm and make yourself a list with all the tasks which creates this feeling of overwhelmment. It might be an over-demanding boss or too many emails and something else. So make a list of all the things, just brainstorm. Self-awareness is key because knowledge is power. We can only change things we know about. Second, now make a list where you put on the left side the things you can change, and on the right side the things which are out of your control. It's not your business. And I guarantee you, you will find at least something you can control. And then third, you pick one of these things you can control for the next week, and that you focus only on that and set your mini goal for this week to conquer this area. Get back your control and this feeling, oh, I have some control, because it's like a muscle. You see, I'm not out of control. It's not only the others. I'm not depending only on others. I also depending on me. So, and then focus on this. Do this now or later, but do it. And then so you create over time your to-do list, because next week you can choose another mini goal you can control, and the next one and the next one and so on. And you feel a relief and a feeling of a bit more happiness. So let's do this now or later.